Welcome to the Ingress Insights podcast, hosted by Pokemon Trainer Jay. Ingress Insights is a podcast about the Niantic game Ingress. Listen each week for the latest news, updates and rumours. Let us know your thoughts by leaving a voice message or emailing us at the links in the show notes.
Additional intel available.
Hello agents, welcome to the 53rd episode of the Ingress Insights podcast. In this week's episode we're going over some updates to the global ops, the progress I've received on that, as well as some new badges we've got for the anomaly, and then going on to a weird / unique message received from support by another agent, as well as the new glyphs and looking back at Halloween as we're now in spooky season but don't yet have the Ingress 2024 Halloween event announced. I thought I'd go over what happened previously. So first of all, I'll move on and discuss the anomaly related things, which are a new badge being added. Before I do get into the new badge being added, I will also mention Wayfarer, because it's been announced that a new challenge is on the way soon. If there's any more news by the time I finish recording the podcast, I'll add it in. But if not, I'll cover Niantic Totino's words shortly at the end of another segment. So now to the badge. I went over the badges that will be available in the in-game store for the Erased Memories Anomaly season in a previous episode. So those are running from the 2nd November and they're changing every so often, but they'll stick around in the store until the 31st of December each time. So there will be eventually all of them available until the 31st of December. One new badge was added to the list on there, which is a limited time score subscriber exclusive Erased Memories Core Supporter Medal Kit. So obviously you can only purchase this medal kit if you've got core, and that is 30,800 CMU. And they do show that off on the page and showing off what the anomaly badge looks like. So the regular supporter badge is a red diamond. The anomaly badge is a grey silver diamond with like blue and green points going into it in the middle. And then the core supporter badge is very similar to the supporter one. Instead of being red, it's just blue and green, as though it's only if you've got core that you'll be able to get that badge. But who knows what's in the kit, so it'll probably be the same kind of stuff that we usually get. But it is 30,800 CMU. I guess if it sells well, we'll see those for future anomaly seasons, but some agents don't like that there's an additional badge now to get. I know it happened previously with the Akira Equinox badge, that there was a core exclusive badge on there, so maybe it sold well, maybe people like it. But happy to know your thoughts in the comments on Spotify, YouTube, wherever you're listening to this. That'd be great. And then I'll move on to a small hiccup that there was regarding the global op that's now been sorted. On the 14th of October, agents were trying to progress with the global op and trying to claim their bounties to move on to the next stage, but there was some issue where it wasn't letting them do that. Some people thought it was related to Second Sunday and whether agents completed the Second Sunday bounty or not, or maybe they'd completed it and then not claimed it. Niantic did say they're aware of the issues and investigating, and they fixed it pretty shortly after, and I don't know what the issue was, but it's now sorted. So if you stopped playing for whatever reason on the 14th and because you couldn't claim your bounties or anything like that, it now works. You're able to claim your bounties to progress. For myself, as an update, I'm on assignment number 7 out of 9 for the first time round. I've tried to get to 9 out of 9 and progress that, so it helps my faction out. I'll mention as well, because I mentioned the second Sunday, that I got my second Sunday tick on my badge, and done one since, doing it for the first time with 6 missions. This time around I just chose to do Scout Controller, because it was usually with the portals that I had around me that didn't have many scans, or any scans in some cases, to just do a few quick scans, upload all of those, get the AP, and then also get the second Sunday tick. I'll probably do the same thing next time around, but who knows, I might switch it up. Maybe interested to know how you got your second Sunday tick this time round, if you did, and how you plan to get it in future. What I want to cover next isn't really Ingress news, it's just a bit of an oddity. So an agent posted a message on Reddit 13-14 days ago, and I meant to cover it last episode and I didn't, so I'll get into that and get into what response they received as well.
What's up? This is Smooth Guy O, and you listen to the Ingress Insight podcast.
I will link to this message. I just want to read it out first of all. So this was posted by the Aura Storm 13, and it noted getting store badges removed. They said at first Saturday yesterday, another agent redeemed the free Dotty badge on my scanner. I don't collect any of the character badges as I don't see a point to them. I've reached out to Niantic to ask if it can be removed/undone. I'm just wondering if anyone's had experience with this. I'm a bit fussy with badges. I have avoided these for 6 years now, so I'm very keen to have it gone. Haha. No disrespect to anyone who likes all the colourful badges, they just aren't for me, thanks. And then agents mentioned how it happened, and it was someone that basically had their phone and bought the badge on there. Obviously, didn't really buy it because it wasn't free, but it was a bit strange to have a badge on your profile you don't want, so I understand that they wanted it removed. I did message the agent and just checked what had happened with it, what kind of response they'd had from support, so I'm going to read that out as well, mostly because it's a bit unique and weird. So support came back to them and said, the NIA is disappointed to learn you had handed your unlocked phone to another agent and let them buy things from the Ingress store. That is one of the least damaging things someone could have done, agent or not. If it were Brian Rose, he could have sent an email to all your contacts saying shapes are real, download Ingress to learn more, then muted the email thread. We've removed this Niantic anniversary medal from your scanner as a one-time thing, and we hope your story serves as a cautionary tale for how not to upset. And then got the usual response, say, did we answer all your questions? Yes, no. So I wanted to share that because it was a bit of a weird thing and a bit of a weird response. I don't know how agents have gone about having badges removed in the past that they've accidentally bought. I think I did mention in their thread that I remember something from an old podcast I used to listen to called 2P Start. For anyone that's as old as me remembers that, where their child had basically mashed A on the Xbox controller and were able to buy a game on there and get that refunded because it's not something they normally expect to happen. But yeah, it's a bit of a weird response. I don't know if they were just being a bit more unique and wanting to give a proper response or whether they just want to have a bit of fun. But I want to share it to say what the issue was. The agent raised it and that's been removed. And they just got the unique response, like I said. Next up in Ingress related news, I mentioned in the last episode there's the ITO Yen and SoftBank Ultralink 10-year celebration that's happening, obviously mostly in portals in Japan. As part of this, the team said there'd be two new glyphs, so being Refresh and Speed, and these coming in late October. I've not seen them in my scanner as yet, but they have now been revealed. So Speed looks sort of like the cool S that anyone from the 90s will know. So it's like doing the double diamond shape and not connecting it through the final line, if that makes sense. I will link to things so it's a bit more clear. And then that's the speed one, is the S, obviously. And then refresh is a giant bow tie. I call the one in the middle a little bow tie. I don't know the proper names for glyphs, I'm sorry. I didn't learn them, no one told me them initially, so I made up my own names for them and they've stuck since. So to me, this will be big bow tie and call S. So I'm going to call refresh and speed. Obviously, with them, one of them gets you just keys from hacks if you use it in the command bit before you do the actual hack, but it'll probably show up in normal glyph hacks as well. But it's nice to have new ones on the scanner. Obviously, I'd like ones back like when we had heart and toast for previous things. I don't know if there's a pumpkin thing they could do for Halloween somehow, possibly. I'd like to know your ideas if you think there is a way that they could do that. And that was a bit of a poor segue into that I'm going to be talking about Halloween events of the past for the feature segment. We don't always have a feature segment, but I thought, seeing as there's not much Ingress news, we'll have one talk about Halloween.
Hey, this is Sim, Global Product Marketing Lead for Peridot, and you're listening to Ingress Insights.
Okay, agents, as you know, I didn't play Ingress from the very start, so I've just tried to go and look around on previous Halloween events that happened before I started playing. So far, I've only found one happening in 2015. So if there were any before that, do let me know, or any we have between 2015 and 2020, let me know that as well. But I'm going to start with the one that I found for 2015. So this was announced on Google Plus, and it was on Ingress's page there. And they said it's time for hack or treat. And it said when Einstein spoke of spooky action, this may not have been what he had in mind. The portals seem to be reacting strangely this Halloween, as if they're being influenced by some kind of aggressive force. Agents, when you go out to hack or treat this weekend, let us know what evidence you find, share a picture of yourself hacking a costume using that hashtag, bonus points for Ingress cosplay. Watch your back, agents, perhaps a strange force at work inside the portal could even have an influence on you. And they mentioned that it was BOLO, whatever that means, buy one, load one, for aggressive portals, increase XMP / Ultra Strike hacks this weekend, hack in costume. So that was our first kind of Halloween event I found that was in 2015, as I said. And then obviously things changed around. There wasn't one then until 2020 that I've been able to find anyway. The one for 2020 was the Trek or Treat weekend, and that was a short one from the 30th of October to the 2nd November, where you got a drone cooldown of 10 minutes, double AP on enemy portal hacking, and double AP on deploying an 8th resonator, and kinetic capsules went down to 4 kilometers. That was nice. And there's a free store bundle of 1 Apex, 5 agent level XMPs, so if you were level 8 or above it was level 8, and 3 common multi-hacks. That was obviously in the midst of the COVID pandemic, so they advised agents stay safe while playing, adhere to the guidelines, wearing face masks, things like that. In addition, for 2020, we also got a All Hallows Eve medal, which was 2,500 CMU from the store, marking the first time we had a Halloween medal available in the store. Moving into Halloween 2021, that also brought with it its own badge with the little black cat in front of the moon, and that ran from the 21st of October to the 1st of November, and that also came with some bonuses being 125 AP per resonator destroyed or upgraded, and 313 per link destroyed, 1250 AP per field destroyed, and you were able to deploy 4 mods as a single agent by then. You could buy the Halloween 2021 medal, as I mentioned, with the cat on, and also the 2021. They were both 2,500 CMU, and there's a pack of 120 level 2 resonators, 1,000 CMU. I will mention here that the Orange XM also started in this kind of time period, and then it wasn't removed until like the 23rd of September 2022, so it hung around for quite some time on there. I don't think it's been back since. It'd be nice if it did. 2022 didn't see an event. It just allowed you to repurchase the 2020 and 2021 medals if you missed out on those, but you couldn't buy them again if you already owned them. So that was only for agents that hadn't got them in previous years. Then on to one that happened literally as I started the podcast. It was the Dark XM Clue Halloween 2023 bundle. So rather than being 2,500 CMU as the previous Halloween badges were, this one was 30,800 CMU and did come with some extra items such as 5 rare kinetic capsules and a few other bits as well. If you want to listen to exactly what was in that announcement and details, you can go back and listen to the very first episode and hear me talk about that. Then looking ahead to 2024, obviously we have the global op campaign running out until the 27th of October. There's nothing as yet, as I'm recording this on the 19th, been announced for Halloween 2024 event. I suspect they may want to resell the Dark XM Clue badge and possibly have another character in a Halloween costume to sell for 30,800 CMU if they can. But they may not have time to get one implemented, so it may just be like 2022 where they just stick all the old medals back in the store. Love to know what you think may happen for Halloween, whether you don't want a Halloween event at all, or whether you just want a badge, whether you want the trick or treat thing like last time, or the hack or treat, and what you want, whether you carve an Ingress pumpkin yourself. So I had a go at some last year. I'm not sure I'll have time this year to try and get an Ingress logo carved on a pumpkin, but I'll post a photo if I do. And then I'll move on and just talk about some gift cards now and whether we'll be getting those for Ingress. Even though I do play the game as well, I try my best not to mention Pokemon Go on the podcast as much as I can, because I know lots of agents don't play it. However, I do want to mention that there was a recent collaboration the game has done with Walmart in the US. So they'll be having some Pokestops that just appear in that game at various Walmarts. In addition, there'll also be gift cards available exclusively in Walmart that you can buy actual money for, that will just be Poke Coins, which are the premium currency in the game. So think of things like buying a card that has V-Bucks on for Fortnite, or Robux for Roblox, anything like that, or PlayStation Store credit, Nintendo Switch credit. It's that kind of thing, something that a relative might see that their kid wants, so they know they play Pokemon Go. Maybe they want to get them a gift card for Christmas, and they can now get that in Walmart. Personally, I think they missed out a trick on these, that they all look the same. There's no try and collect all the gift cards thing that I would have done if I was in charge of this, just to push that FOMO a bit. But I also wondered whether we may see Ingress CMU cards in stores at some point. Probably more likely to be in Japan, given the sponsorship deals there. And whether agents would actually want that. Would you want to be able to go into a store and pick up a gift card for £10, $10 for a certain amount of CMU that you could then add instantly to your account, rather than go through and buy it on your phone? Would it be a way of gifting CMU to other players, which you can't do as yet? I know in Pokemon Go, other games, you can buy other players' tickets, so not necessarily coins, but you can buy them tickets that cost actual money and send those across. Similarly, in Monster Hunter Pikmin, you can buy gift basket things that you send to other players, whereas we don't have anything like that in Ingress as yet. But I don't know if it's something that agents do want, but let me know, comment, and see what you'd want from that, whether you'd want different characters on potentially a CMU Ingress gift card, and whether you even want those at all. Final bit of news is about Wayfarer, so it's Ingress adjacent this time. So the Wayfarer challenge is something I mentioned before, and Niantic Tintina posted on the 19th of October that the Wayfarer challenge is right around the corner. So he wrote, "Hello Explorers, before you head out for the weekend, we want to let you know that the next Wayfarer challenge is coming soon. For the first time, we'll be introducing contributions into a challenge, and as the first, we'll be hitting edit submissions. So as you're out and about this weekend, you might want to take note of the way slots that need to be edited, so you can make a plan to visit them once the challenge begins. More to share once it's all squared away. Happy weekend." So this is for edit contributions being the main thing, not reviews has been specified. So that's new photos, title edits, description edits, location edits. So putting those into the game is going to be what's the focus of this Wayfarer review, well, Wayfarer challenge. So if you're waiting for some things to come in and looking at adding new photos to portals, I would probably just hold off a little bit until this challenge starts. Sounds like it's going to start pretty soon. Last time we had OPR Live badge ticks as the highest level rewarded to individuals, so I'm hoping we get that this time, because it'd be a silver OPR medal tick for many if you've done the previous two. So I'm looking forward to seeing when that starts and what the rewards will be this time around. I know last time they were a bit unbalanced, more towards Pokemon Go getting better rewards than Ingress, and there's been feedback on that on the forum, so I hope that's been listened to and we get kind of equal rewards for both games this time around. I'm not too fussed about getting any rewards for Peridot. I don't really think they were worth it last time, but I wouldn't mind them for, say, Pikmin Blue and Monster Hunter, because I play them more. But we'll have to wait and see. But it is just around the corner, so hold off on doing any edits that you've got planned, and then we'll see how that goes from there. If you do want more on this, I bet the Way Spotters podcast are covering in detail for this Sunday episode, so I'll link to their show and you can listen for more details there and their thoughts on that. As for me, I'm going to get things wrapped up now. Thank you, agents, for listening to episode 53 of the Ingress Insights podcast. Next time around, the global campaign for Erase Memories will just be finishing on the day of release of the podcast, so there'll be details about that, hopefully, and maybe a midpoint check-in that I'll update on. Hopefully we'll have the Halloween event announced. That'd be nice too. And then we're looking forward to November with the XM anomalies coming up there, and the obviously Ingress Year 12 celebration that's been announced already. We should also have the refresh and speed glyphs live in the game by then, so I can try a few of those and let you know how those go. And then look forward to seeing what else we have coming up for Ingress in the coming months. Then finally, just some podcast related news. So I'm going back over some of the old episodes and editing the links that were going to the community forums with either the Ingress.plus backup or the Wayback Machine backups that are available, just so people can still read those. If the links aren't active, such as something that was posted in the old Wayfarer forum that's not in the new Wayfarer forum, I'll just put a little note that says link not active, as the first few episodes seem to be the most listened to episodes. I think it's still useful to have that information available there if it is possible, but if not, say that it's not, so no one's following a dead link. In addition, I know I mentioned before about maybe ending season 1 when I'd done 52 episodes, but what I'm going to do is run the season 1 of the show right up until the end of Erased Memories. So that'll mean the last show of season 1 should come out on the 29th of December, barring any special ones that come up maybe on New Year's Eve or anything like that. After that, the new season will start, season 3. So just to confuse things, what I'm going to do is shove all the special episodes such as the What the Hell is Ingress and the Ingress Insights episodes that are on here into season 2, and then I'll just keep adding episodes of that into that season as we get more Ingress Insights episodes, more special little episodes that go in there. So then I'll be able to update that and it'll make things a bit clearer. I'll be able to have things in a nice order rather than random bonus episodes scattered around. So not anything that's urgent for anyone else, just I want to note it there in case you see things starting off. But that's all from me for this week, so hope to hear from you next week. I'll leave you with the outro. I hope you have a great Sunday. Happy hacking to you all. Thank you, agents, for listening to the latest episode of the Ingress Insights podcast. If you'd like to follow us on social media, you can do that on a few channels. So on Threads under the name ingress.insights, on Instagram under the name ingress.insights as well. Twitter/X, which posts episodes of the podcast, is under Ingress Insights, no dot in that one. And you can also watch these episodes on YouTube under Ingress Insights Podcast. You can send us a voice message by visiting the podcaster's Spotify page. And finally, you can buy Ingress Insights merch, such as mugs, pins, t-shirts, by going to freepublic.com/user/ingress-insights. And on there, you'll see all the designs that we've got listed at the moment. There are some new ones that will be coming up at some point soon, but you can buy your Ingress Insights mug, hats, t-shirts, tote bags, anything like that you want. Thank you again for listening. Hope you tune in next week. If you do like the show, please do rate it on the podcast service you're listening to. I look forward to speaking with you all about Ingress again.
Intel package transferred.